The following audio may contain the personal testimonials of some independent OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to healthy living and weight loss will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. In addition, this audio may contain income or earnings representations of some independent OPTAVIA coaches. OPTAVIA makes no guarantee of financial success. Success with OPTAVIA results from successful sales efforts, which requires hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Please see the OPTAVIA income disclosure statement for statistics on actual earnings of coaches under the U.S. compensation plan, which differs from the international compensation plan. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.
Hello, hello. Looks like we have some people coming on in. I'm gonna open up the chat here and take a look. See who is joining us. If you feel like you would like to put in where you're coming from, we'd love to see where y'all coming from. Las Vegas, Utah. So yeah, I just love this. You know that? I just love seeing all of the people coming in from everywhere. It's incredible. Look at that. Alabama's in the house, Hawaii, Idaho, New York, Fresno. Oh my God, I can't keep up. Awesome, you guys. Are you guys excited and pumped about Element 18? Very, very, very cool. Very cool. We're going to wait just a couple of seconds here and just wait for more people to come on in. I know we're started pretty close to the hour, and we'll kick off. We've got 30 minutes here we'll be spending on Element 18, and then we'll be moving into the trilogy presentation, talking a little bit about what you can expect from becoming a health coach if you choose to do that. It's a pretty amazing thing. We've got 2 guest speakers tonight, some amazing, awesome people. So I'm really excited about this, but we'll kick this off in about, let's say about 20 more seconds. The chat is now slowing down a little bit. So here's the next question I want to throw out there. What is your favorite activity right now? Your favorite exercise activity right now? What do you like to do, or what are you doing? We got volleyball, we got running, cycling, handstands. Who's doing handstands out there? Yoga, cycling, Pilates, walking, mountain biking, kayak. We got some amazingly active people on this call. How interesting is that? Guys, I love it. I love it. Okay, just because I'm having way too, and I apologize to those of you who are watching this recorded, because you're not going to see all these great comments coming in. So if you're watching on the podcast, there's everything's coming across the board right now. It's pretty awesome. I want to ask one more question because it's pertinent to what we're talking about. Do you know your body composition? Do you know your body fat? And do you feel comfortable putting that in the chat? Do you know what your body fat percentage is? Not BMI, but body fat percentage. We talked about it in Elements 14, which is really cool. If you go back and talk about that. Oh, look at this. We got great numbers, guys. Where can I find that out? Okay, we'll be talking about that. Excellent. Well, welcome, guys. Welcome. Let's go ahead and let's share screen and get this PowerPoint up and running here. And let's see. Panelists, can you see that okay? Are we up? Okay. Guys, welcome. It's my pleasure, and I'm completely honored to be here talking to you tonight about Elements 18 and the Habits of Health and the LifeBook. I mean, what an incredible resource that we have in the LifeBook. If you haven't dived into it yet, dive into that baby and get to work on it, because it is the book that's created to help you find answers about yourself so that you can have the best healthy lifestyle that you can possibly imagine. But here's the thing, I want to be completely transparent here. Element 18, I've always been a fitness person. Okay, my education, I have a nutrition science degree, I have health education, I've been just trained in on fitness and physical fitness and everything. And all my certifications for the last 20 years have been, around fitness. So it's been my life work. But let me be completely honest with you. All of the other elements in Habits of Health have had the largest impact on my life. Okay, maybe it's because I already had Elements 18 kind of a little bit, dialed in, but all of the other components have been just instrumental in my ability to transform myself and have my transformational story. So I am so appreciative of Dr. Anderson and the elements and the habits of health for putting that together for people who just have other areas of their life. Because when we have 26 elements, there's a lot more to it than just element 18 and exercise. So we're going to just dive into just some small parts of what it looks like to get into this gift that you get to give yourself, this gift of exercise. So in this element, in element 18, we'll discuss Dr. Anderson's scheduled exercise plan to help you prepare for your graduate degree in movement. So you already heard last week in element 17, Nicole did a great job walking us through NEAT and in our daily activity, our daily movements. Now we're getting ready to go through the graduate program. And guess what? This is an element that you'll be doing for the rest of your life. And and I like to say there is no finish line, and there is no finish line with this. Okay, you will always be able to improve on your fitness and your your fitness level. So position you to achieve the 3 core goals of the habits of motion system, and explore what a typical week of exercise will look like. All right, so basically exercise, and every time I say eat, it sounds a little bit funny because we all want to eat, right? So exercise activity thermogenesis, any planned movement that's vigorous enough to improve overall fitness. Okay, so that's taking it from just your casual walk or your 6 S's and moving it into a planned activity that will increase your fitness status. Now, you guys have all experienced the OPTAVIA energy environment. Okay, what that looks like is, you start eating healthy, you start having this energy. Like, where's this energy coming from? And that energy usually results in you, cleaning the garage or filing paperwork or doing dishes multiple times or cleaning the house. You're like, I've already cleaned the house like 3 times. What more can I do? But this is basically getting into like the 6 S's. And if you don't know what that is, make sure you go to the Habits of Health and check that out. But your 6 S's basically start that NEAT process. You're standing more, you're walking a little bit more. You may not even really know that you're doing it, but it's happening. So that energy is going to obviously be expelled, and you now have that total energy expenditure that's increasing. So what we do next to ensure that as you're losing body fat and your total energy expenditure might be dropping a little bit, because it does with body weight. So keep that in mind. That's just a note to remember. We start adding activity to fill in that gap. Okay, and that's going to come from our walking program. And we talked about the NEAT walking program last week. Now we get into the EAT walking program this week, and that's increasing the intensity. We're looking at 65 to 75% of your target heart rate zone. Dr. Anderson goes through how to determine those numbers in the Habits of Health book and in your LifeBook, so you can check those numbers out. Now, where and how do we get to that next level? Okay. And I'm going to go up one screen here before I back up. Better not do that. I'll get lost. So let's talk about why we would do that. Increasing the energy expenditure, optimizing your total cardiovascular health, and build strong, healthy support systems like your bones and your muscles. And guys, this is the critical part, because this is preventing the sarcopenia that comes in from aging. If we lose our lean body mass, if we have frail bones, we lose the ability to really perform long-term. And this is just normal activities aside from the sports and the hobbies that so many people put down in the chat. So we want to make sure that we can live the healthiest, longest life possible and the most active. Okay. We also call that play span. So the ability for you to do the things you love for as long as you want to do them, or getting into optimization and then into longevity in the Habits of Health system. So the EAT part of our system is divided into 3 progressive levels, which you will master at your own pace. So walking and the fitness program. Basically, here's how you get to that point, okay? If you've reached your goal of 20,000 steps per week on top of your NEAT activities, okay? So when that happens and you're walking about 5 days a week, okay, you have a day where you have rest and recovery or restorative repair, and you do this for at least a month, then you would add that second level or your resistance training program. And the recommendation would be twice a week. And we'll show you what that looks like on the schedule coming up. But it's something that you want to plan for and do it so that you have 2 days of resistance training and then 2 days in between before you pick up on another resistance. And most people will do that with an upper body and then a lower body routine. There are guides, habitsofhealth.com, that will walk you through those. There are resources on the YouTube page, Habits of Health, that will go over exercises so that you're safe doing those movements, okay? Now, the cool thing about the resistance training program is this was actually developed and designed by the University of Florida, or actually because of the research done by the University of Florida and the School of Medicine. And what it shows is that when you do these, we're looking for 5 sets of 5 movements that you do 2 times, okay? So, or 5, I'm sorry, 5 reps, I apologize. 5 reps of 5 movements that you do 2 cycles through. And we want to look at a nice controlled pace of an 8-second contraction, 4-second hold, and 8-second relaxation. Now, what I already know is that so many people who are already physically active and who have thrown out those activities that were, some of them were really intense, by the way. We have to remember the difference between a hobby and a sport, and training for a hobby and a sport, and training for general fitness and health. And once we can look through that lens, then we can look at that from somebody going from that walking program into the EAT walking program, the resistance training, and then we can really start to increase the intensity if necessary through our high intensity interval training. So that's our next step. So once we've moved on and we feel like we need a little bit more, that will be your level 3, or you're boosting your workouts. And then this is where you probably have some additional assistance, or you're working through your health coach on, you might be training for something really specific. Maybe it's a triathlon or a marathon or something along those lines. So that is sport training, and that can be just a little bit different. So I want you to give that resistance training program a try. If you are a resistance trainer, I can tell you what, it's hard. It's hard, but here's the reason why. That count is specific to make sure that you don't have momentum involved, that for beginner exercises can be very, actually for everybody, it can be very dangerous, that momentum, if it's not controlled. And that 8-second contraction with that 4-second hold, and it shouldn't be a lockout, it should be a contraction without lockout. Dr. Anderson talks about locking out, and actually that takes away the efficiency of the time under tension and the fiber recruitment of the muscles. So when you have that contraction and that pause for 4 seconds, and then you bring it down under control for 8 seconds, you will become a very good counter. Because it is hard to keep concentrating, but you will get it after a series of doing it with practice. You will get that count down. But make sure you go to the resources, watch those videos so that you have some exercises. And here's the real big thing, guys. Like, think of that long-term investment, because I know, even for myself, and I've been working out for so long, I have days when I wake up in the morning and it's rainy out here in Portland, and it's gray skies and it's cold. My covers feel really, really good. You have to take a look at creating these micro habits and having that cue coupled with that routine that gives you the rewards that is ultimately going to end in your long-term investment or your long-term goal. When you remember what that long-term goal is, then it's a little bit easier. So it might look like something like this. You have your shoes and your favorite workout clothes in your bathroom or next to your bed when you wake up in the morning. You've probably already pre-booked for a workout class so that you're already on the schedule. So there's a level of accountability there, or you're meeting a friend, or here's the greatest thing, guys. The program is designed to not have any additional barriers that will get in the way of you getting healthy and getting fit. So you can literally do a workout by your walking, your heels, or on a treadmill if the weather is bad. You have your resistance option, which you can do body weight exercises. And then, of course, you have your HIIT option, which in Elements 18 towards the back, there's actually a routine, actually 2 of them, that will take you through a series of exercises with 45 seconds on, 15-second rest. And I tell you what, we actually use these in some of our workout classes, and they're kickers. They're really good. So once you are done, you have that improved mood, you have that sense of achievement, you've accomplished that goal, and you are ready to rock the day, right? And then, of course, our long-term investment is our increased total energy, your ability to build your strong bones, and your cardiovascular health. So just a lot of really positive things happening there. Now, let's take a look at our typical week and what that looks like. On Monday, you have your normal NEAT system, your normal activity, but then that's your day where you do your upper body. In the bodybuilding world, we call that National Chest Day. Long story. We'll get into that some other time. But you have your 30 minutes of eat upper body. Okay, so your resistance training, and roughly you have about 450 calories that's burned throughout that whole entire process. Now on Tuesday, you have your normal activity, and that looks like maybe you walk to your normal flights of stairs, either at your house or at your office building, and then you have your 30-minute walking program that you have. Okay, Wednesday, neat activity, 30-minute walking. Thursday, because there's those at least 2 days in between the resistance training, you walked your normal flights of stairs, you did a little bit of extra, you raked the lawn, wash dishes, and you have your 30-minute of eat lower body. Okay. Friday is your 30-minute walk, and 30-minute walk on Saturday, and Sunday might be a complete restorative day or a day completely off. Now, here's what I see after years and years and years of experience. Here's what I see gets people in trouble. Have you ever heard this? Let's go to Thursday. I'm taking the elevator today because I already did my workout. Okay, anybody hear that? Put a 1 in the chat if you've heard that before. I'm not doing that. I'm not parking that far away because I already did my run today, right? I gotta open up the chat and see what's going on over here. Yeah, I mean, we've all heard this, right? We've all heard this. And here's what Dr. Anderson warns about. NEAT is the lion's share of calories being burned for your body. Okay, that's your everyday activity. If your workout, your 30-minute workout deters you from doing your normal activities in the day, they're going to wash out. And this is where a lot of people start to have some challenges in their energy management, because they don't see that they're like, hey, I worked out. Like, and the other thing that we obviously know is that when we work out, we think that we automatically should be refueling with more calories, and that may or may not be the issue. It just depends on where you are in your overall goals for the other body composition adjustments that you want to make for yourself. Okay, so does that make sense? I mean, I think that's a big point, and I really wanted to hit that home tonight because that's a major concern for people who exercise and decide that because of that, they don't have to do the normal NEAT activities. And I love Saturday, going out dancing and having a good time. I mean, there's a lot of calories to be burned with just going out and having a good time. You know, putting the music on while you're doing stuff around the house is a really, really amazing way to increase the calories. Now, here's the link down below to the resources. You have, of course, your tracking sheets. I believe there's a link that will take you right to the videos. So that's obviously going to be on YouTube. So make sure you utilize those. Those would be recommended exercises, of course, when you're doing the 8-4-8 count. Then keep that in mind and just give that a whirl, guys. I'm telling you what, especially if you're starting it for the first time. We did a resistance challenge in October where that was one of the options for all of the contestants to do. And it was eye-opening for a lot of people to do that style of resistance training, even with a little bit of experience already. So I encourage you to give that a try. Okay, so it's your turn now. This is your turn. What does this element mean to you right now? If you feel comfortable and you want to write it in the chat, go ahead and write in the chat. If you feel, what does this element mean to me right now? Have I been doing it already? Do I need to be doing more? Do I need to increase the intensity? If I'm walking already, do I need to add hill climbing or a weight vest or ankle vests, provided that you have that ability to do that, or some small dumbbells? Because you're going to gradually increase, like maybe 5 minutes every week, until those numbers start to really climb in your steps or the distance that you're able to go in the period of time. So we'll talk a little bit about frequency and intensity as we move through the rest of this presentation, just so that we can touch on that, because that's an important factor as well. What does this element give you the opportunity to reflect on? And we kind of touched on that already. Is like, what's missing? What do we need to add? What's next? What's the next goal that you want to set for yourself? And with that being said, what actions are you going to take as a result of this element? Okay, what actions? Like if you decided today. So the resources team, I just want to say, go in, check out the different elements that are out there right where you are. But like I said, the elements that have been so powerful for me have been the ones that somebody, you know, wouldn't necessarily expect. But it's such a valuable thing to be able to go into each one of the elements and pull out a gold nugget that will definitely affect your life for the absolute best. So let's talk just a little bit more about that frequency, intensity, and time and type. And I had a discussion the other day, and let me check on my time here. How are we doing? We good on time? We're good on time. Okay, so let me give you an example. When somebody comes into a health club, for example, and they get on a treadmill, a lot of times what happens is they're very wobbly. And because that piece of equipment's unfamiliar to them, their body has to respond by balancing and being a little awkward. And there's additional calories that are burned just simply because of that. Okay. Now, you come back 6 weeks later and you see that same person on the treadmill and they're reading a book. Okay, what does that tell you? That tells you that your body will adapt over time to make that exercise comfortable, because that's really what the body's trying to do. So when we get into our Eat Walking program, by adding the elevation, by adding the dumbbells or the weight vest, and then of course by adding the other days a week of your resistance training, it becomes a triple threat of the ability for your body to stay guessing on what it's doing and keeping that metabolism really, really high. So I think that moves us pretty close to the end here. Now, next week, guys, we're going to be talking about element 19. So I encourage you to come on and just continue with the process. We have 26 elements. Element 19 is next week. I would encourage you to go back and review the different elements. I went over several of them over the last couple of weeks, just because I was maybe driving when I was listening. Maybe many of you guys are driving right now, and going back and just watching the slideshow and just seeing what else is out there that can move me forward in every single one of these things. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and bring on our panelists right now before we break and get into the next segment. So just as a reminder, guys, so when this concludes, stick around because we're going to talk a little bit more about health coaching. We're going to hear stories from, get this, 2 really career health professionals who have impacted more lives than you can even possibly, well, actually, no, everybody on OPTAVIA can imagine how many lives you can change, because they're going to talk about how many more lives they've been changing through the process of this amazing program. So guys, go ahead and open up your mics and come on board. And because you guys are also such experts in this element 18, is there anything that you feel like you could add that that I might have missed? I mean, I know this is the tip of the iceberg on a very complex element that has layers of progression. But I just want to get your feedback, because I value all of your guys' opinions, and I thank you for joining me tonight, and wanted to give everybody a glimpse of what's to come in the next 5 minutes.
Well, thank you, Casey. Thanks for bringing me on and Sean on. So I know Sean's going to pop on here in a little bit, but I think you touched like all of what I would have touched in terms of element 18. So maybe Sean caught something that I didn't catch.
Good evening, everybody. You know, Casey did an excellent job of really talking about meeting people where they are. And I think that that's so important when it comes to introducing exercise. And so often I believe, you know, people have this understanding or belief that when exercising, they can't be on a lower calorie program. And I'm here to definitely tell you that that's not the case. You know, our bodies are highly adaptable. And when we introduce exercise and we do it progressively in a way that allows us to continue to evolve with that program, you start to learn what your body is capable of. And you and me and Shirley often say this to people: exercise is a celebration of what your body is capable of, right? And when we think about that, as we continue to you know, understand what our body is capable of, it frees us up for other things. And you know, I know each of you and everybody on this phone understands how important an individual's why is to keep them motivated and keep them moving forward and reaching their goal of, you know, initially that healthy body, secondarily, you know, healthy mind, and then lastly, healthy lifestyle and finances. And when we think about that, that progression with your exercise, it opens up doors for your opportunity to be able to do the things that you love doing every day with the people that you love doing it most with. And so, you know, I saw some things in the chat. What about swimming? And what about walking? And what about, you know, riding my bike and all of these things? Activity is activity, right? And what we want to do is we want to get you moving more, and we want you to understand what your body is capable of. And in understanding what your body is capable of, you'll take yourself to that next level. And by doing that, you'll start to experience things that you've never experienced before, and allow you to do things that you've never done. And one of the people that comes to my mind that came to me, just over a year ago, could barely do a body weight when they started. They're 69 years old, and he does box jumps 10 at a time now. And I told him when he started with us, all I ask is you do the best job you can and be consistent. And if you can do those two things, we'll help you get where you want to be, and we'll help you move better, and we'll help you, enjoy the things that you want to enjoy in your life. And, I love how this mirrors, what we do for people nutritionally, what we do for people around their mindset, and ultimately what we do for people in their lifestyles, because it creates a level of freedom that a lot of people don't have, because they are limited in their movement and limited in what they do.
Oh, totally. Sean, no, that's huge. That is absolutely huge. And I just want to clean up just a couple of things, because I'm watching the chat, and I just want to discuss two things. Some really great questions are popping up in there, but I really want you to embrace the idea of what Dr. Anderson has set up in the Habits of Health, where you are not, you do not have to go out and find things to delay the process of making a decision. Okay, and whether it's elements 14 and on, where we're talking about body composition, it's like you don't wait to start making a decision on your health because you haven't scheduled in a body composition yet, right? You have the option of using a treadmill or an elliptical machine or swimming or whatever you have available to you. As Sean said, exercise is exercise. The reason we talk so much about walking is obviously walking is available to almost everybody. Okay, providing that you're physically able to do that. Walking is something that requires really little to no expense, other than a good pair of shoes and some loose fitting athletic clothing, right? So, and that's questionable, right? That's whatever feels comfortable to you. So that's the reason why walking becomes such a powerful part of what we do, is because you can do it anywhere. You're not restricted like, oh, I'm vacationing, I can't do my exercise because, well, wait, nope. I can. Like, I got everything I need right with me. So that's how you want to look at that. And then I want to go real quickly, because we have about 30 seconds here or so, and answer somebody's question, because I just will think it will summarize everything. So somebody asked, I've been on program for X number of weeks or months, and am I now able to exercise? Okay, here's the golden rule, and go back into your LifeBook to check this out. If you've reached your goal of walking 20,000 steps a week, okay, wait, I'm sorry, 10,000 steps a week is what it is for the NEAT program. If you've gotten to that 10,000 mark, and then we can start looking at incorporating that next level, okay? So yes, you can start exercising, you can start exercising that way, bringing that into your total system. Now work with your health coach, because maybe there's something else going on, and maybe that's not the style of exercise that you're talking about. We always want to be safe with like the progressive process. And if you were to wipe the slate clean, and this is something that I think is so critical, because we had to do this in the fitness world for some people who were drastically overtrained, and athletes, you'll have this, professional athletes, that kind of thing, take 2 weeks off. You're overtrained, your body's adapted to just about everything that you're doing. We're going to start with a clean slate, take 2 weeks off. And I tell you what, it is like pulling people's teeth out. They do not like it. If you've already have a healthy habit created of exercise, and you are told that you need to take some time off, sometimes that can be really scary. Okay, but in regards to starting with a clean vanilla slate, that we can start building that walking program into your eat exercise program, into resistance training, into HIIT training, and into the next level. That progressively is the best thing for your body. Just like if you're getting ready for a marathon, you are not going out and just running over 20 miles that day, that week. Okay, you are building progressively and adapting and building and adapting and building and adapting. So that's basically what that looks like. So with that being said, guys, we're gonna now just take a quick second to transition. Once again, I'm gonna share my screen. We'll go over that last slide one more time, which is, of course, next week, Elements 19. Please join us for that. How do you create healthy sleep and unlimited energy? What a powerful topic, because here's the next thing, guys, and I just love the way these roll together. if you're working out intensely, your next workout is only as good as your recovery. If you haven't recovered from that workout, you're breaking down body tissue that has the inability to repair. And if it's not repairing, then you open yourself up for risk of injury. And if you are injured, you are now not moving as much, and there's all kinds of ramifications that happen because of that. So keep that in mind, guys. Rest and recovery is just as important. We talk about this all the time in some of our high intensity pages, but rest and recovery is as important as any intense workout that you can possibly do. So guys, thanks for joining us tonight. Stick around. We're going to dive in the next minute or two right into our trilogy call, and we'll hear a little bit more from Shirley and Sean. And you'll see exactly how these pillars, these 4 different pillars of what consists in our program, is so effective for changing the entire world. So thanks, guys. Have a great night.
This audio may have contained the personal testimonials of some independent OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. In addition, this audio may have contained income or earnings representations of some independent OPTAVIA coaches. OPTAVIA makes no guarantee of financial success. Success with OPTAVIA results from successful sales efforts, which requires hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Please see the OPTAVIA income disclosure statement for statistics on actual earnings of coaches under the U.S. compensation plan, which differs from the international compensation plan. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.